Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss the concept vector and then string tokenizer. The first concept is vector. So what is this vector and how we are going to specify this vector? So what is an example? What are the different types of constructors we are using for this vector? And what are the different methods we can use for this vector? All these things we are going to study in this video. Okay, so coming to this vector, so we are saying this vector is like a dynamic array, so which can grow or shrink its size. Okay, we are going to represent this vector as a dynamic array, so which is going to grow or shrink the size. That means here we can able to increase the size, or else we can able to decrease the size of the array. Okay, so unlike array, we can store n number of elements in it. So as there is no size limit. Okay, it is a part of this Java collection framework. And so it is found in this java.util package. And it is going to implement the list interface. So we can use all the methods of list interface under this vector. Okay, so it is recommended to use the vector class in the thread safe implementation only. Okay, so if you don't need to use the thread safe implementation, so you should use the array list, or else the array list will perform better in such case. Okay, so the iterators which is returned by the vector class are fail fast. So in case of this concurrent modification, so it fails and throws the concurrent modification exception. So it is very similar to this array list, but with two differences. Okay, so first one is vector is a synchronized one, and this Java vector contains many legacy methods that are not a part of collection framework. So these are the two main difference with the array list. But this vector is said to be a dynamic array, so which can grow or shrink its size. Okay, so here is how we are going to create or else declare a vector. Okay, so we are going to declare a vector by representing a public class vector e representation. Okay, and then so that means here we are going to define vector and its type. Okay, and we are going to specify the new vector. So here the type is going to indicate the type of linked list over here. Okay, and then so here we are just specifying that type as an integer. Okay, or else we can type that means here we are representing the linked list of the type of string. Okay, so here the vector class will be providing the various resizable array implementations by making use of this list interface. Okay, and we are having the so many methods of that particular vector also. So this is how we are going to add the elements to the vector by making use of this three specifications, that is add element, add index comma element, add all vector. So what is this add element in this is this will be going to add an element to the vector. And here it is specifying the index, whatever the specified position we are going to represent, to that specified position, it is going to add an element. Okay, so next add all vector in the sense it is going to add all the elements of a vector to another vector. Okay, so this is how we are going to add the elements to a vector. So this is an example of that vector. So where we are going to define the vector as a type of string, and here we are going to add the elements to that vector. Okay, so for reading that elements from that vector, here I'm making use of a method called get. Okay, and here I'm just trying to find out the element which is at the index position called 2. Okay, so and then so it is going to print that element, all the elements that is present in the vector. Okay, so for representing all the elements, for reading the all the elements that are present in the vector, so it is going to make use of a method called has next. Okay, that means it is iterating the loop for the number of elements that is present in the vector, and if it is having the next element in the sense, it is making use of the method called has next, and then it is printing that element over here. So if I try to run this program, I'll be getting that output like, so the element which is present at the index 2 is, okay, cat over here. Okay, so next, so this is the vector elements that is present in the vector. Okay, Next, if I want to remove the elements in the vector, so I can make use of a method called remove index, remove all, and then clear. See, so remove index in the sense here also we are going to specify the particular position of that vector and we are trying to remove that element. Okay, here removes all in the sense it is going to remove all the elements that is present in the vector, and clear is also doing the same like remove all only, but in a more efficient way. Okay, see here, I'm just trying to add these three elements into the vector and trying to print that elements. Afterwards, I'm going to remove that elements which is present in the first place. Okay, so here I'm just printing that element which is going to remove. Okay, so next one here, so this will be the we are going to print that element and then I'm going to, after removing the element, I'm going to print the new vector and vector list also. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to print the initial vector. After that, I'm going to remove one element. After removing the elements, with the remaining elements, I'm going to print the again updated or else modified vector over here. And again, I'm trying to clear all the elements that is present in the vector and I'm trying to print the same thing after clearing. Okay, so if I run this program, here initially the vector elements will be the 0th position is dog and first position is horse and second position is cat. So if you observe in the previous program, so here it is asking for the index 2. Okay, that means 0th position, first position, second position. So the output is cat over here. So whereas here it is going to display all the elements present in the initial vector, and afterwards we are going to remove the element that is present in the first position. So what is the element that is present in the first position? That is horse, no? So we are going to remove the element called horse. After removing the elements, again we are trying to print the modified vector, that is a new vector, so which is consisting of only the dog and cat as elements. Next, we are trying to clear all the elements. Okay, after clearing the elements, we are going to print the vector after clear. Okay, so after clearing all the elements, the vector will be empty. So there won't be any element in that vector. So that is what it is printing over here. Okay, so this is how we are going to remove a particular element, or we can remove all the elements from the vector. So, and next one is vector constructors. So mainly we are making use of different types of constructors in the vector. So one is with the vector and the vector int initial capacity and vector int initial capacity comma int capacity increment and then vector collection extensive. So what is this vector constructor? In the sense it is going to construct an empty vector with the default size of 10. Okay, so here the default size will be the 10. Next, vector int initial capacity. So it is going to construct an empty vector with the specified initial capacity. Okay, and with its capacity increments is equal to 0. Okay, so here we are going to specify the initial capacity over here. So that is the main difference between the vector and then vector int initial capacity. And next one, so vector int initial capacity and then int capacity increment. So it is also going to construct an empty vector with the specified initial vector and also the capacity increment also. That means up to which level that the increment should be there. Like that, we are having an option to represent that also. Next, vector collection extents. So this is a type of a constructor, so which is going to construct a vector that contains an element of a collection C. So here it will be consisting of the elements of collection C. So for that one, it is going to create a vector. So these are the 4 different types of constructors we are using under the vector. Next, coming across with the methods. So we are having so many, that means up to 40 to 50 types of methods we are having in this vector methods. So under that, some of them are add. Okay, so which is used to append the specified element for the given vector, and add all in the sense it is going to append all the elements in the specified location to the end of this vector. Okay, it is not adding in the middle of the vector, it will be adding at the end of that vector. And add element in the sense it is going to append the specified component same to the end of its vector, but it is going to increase the vector size by 1. Okay, next one is capacity. So that is going to use it to get the current capacity of the vector. So clear in the sense, as we have already discussed in that program, here it is going to delete all the elements from the vector. Cloning in the sense, it is going to return a clone of this vector. That means already defined thing. So we will be making use of this existing data. No, that is nothing but cloning. Next, contains. It is going to return true if the vector contains the specified element. Contains all in the sense it is going to return true if the vector is containing all the elements in the specified collection. Okay, next copy into. So it is used to copy the components of the vector into a specified array. See, so these are the some of the methods that we are going to use under the vectors. So next, coming to the concept called string tokenizer. So what is this string tokenizer in the sense? So actually this string tokenizer is a class so that allows an application to bring a string into tokens. Here, the tokenization method is much simpler than the one which we are going to use by the string tokenizer class. Here, this string tokenizer methods do not distinguish among the identifiers or else numbers and then quoted strings, nor do they even though recognize and some skip comments also. Okay, so here we are having some operations which will advance this current position with the characters which are processed in the past. Okay, so this is how we are going to represent the string tokenizer class in Java. So if our input is like a hello, welcome to Java T point, so this will be processed through the string tokenizer where it will be allowing this string token, the strings into breaking these strings into tokens over here. So as our string is hello, welcome to Java T point, here it is dividing or else it is breaking this string into hello individually, welcome individually, and then to and then Java T point. So this is how it is going to break the strings into the tokens in string tokenizer. Okay. So this is the example which is going to represent the string tokenizer concept. Okay, so where we are going to define this constructors over here. So here by making use of this using constructor one. Okay, here I'm going to represent the string called hello geeks, how are you? Okay, and still I want more tokens in this sense. So here I'm going to represent the while loop, and I'm trying to print the next token. Okay, so we are processing this string to this string tokenizer. So this string tokenizer is going to break the strings into the tokens, and each and every time it is going to print the tokens over here. In the same way, I have passed the strings. Okay, if you observe this constructor 2, here I'm just trying to specify Java code string. Okay, and using constructor 3, the same thing. So I'm just trying to represent whether it is true or not. Okay, so if here I'm just passing some values over here, that's it. Okay, see, if I try to run that program using the constructor one, I'll be getting the things, that means whatever the string I have passed, hello geeks, how are you? So here it is has been divided into the tokens and it is displaying that list of tokens. In the same way for constructor 2 and for constructor 3 also. Okay, so these all will be treated like a string over here, and this will be passed to this string tokenizer. And after passing these through the string tokenizer, it is going to break the strings into tokens, and it is displaying the list of that tokens as the output. Okay, so this is how the string tokenizer concept is working out in Java. So it is simply a class which is going to break the strings into tokens. Okay, thank you.